So love, how was it shown in the 70s to the 90s children? Provision. As long as unasoma, unakula, you have a roof over your head, that is enough for me to tell you I love you as my child. So the rate card of the 90s, 80s and the 70s children, the rate card was very simple. Umekula? Yes. 10 out of 10. Uko na nguo za kuvaa? Yes. 10 out of 10. Do you have a roof over your head? Yes. 10 out of 10. Umeenda shule umesoma? Yes. 10 out of 10. So for that parent, I may make it as a parent, I may make it. And then to make it worse, ama to kuchachisha hii the parent scorecard for that parent. Akikupeleka, cause our grandparents walifika class 3. So grandparent mwenye amesoma, tuseme angeenda class 8 ama class 7. Uyo amesoma. So our parents got to reach high school. Uyo na yeye amesoma. So you can imagine it was a privilege to go to school. Like kukula basics, kukula 3 meals a day was also a privilege. Haikuwa ya kila mtu. To have a bed in your room was a privilege. To even have a spare room, and wewe uko na room yako peke yako, was a privilege. So you can imagine this is the parent that is raising you right now. Yeye hajui kitu ingine isipokuwa kustruggle, kupewa privileges. The basics for that parent of yours, ama the grandparent and the great grandparent, those were privileges for them.
This is Moulding and Meddling, a space where parents are trying their best, kids are changing faster than we can keep up, and everyone is learning on their job. The old parenting manual didn't come with updates, so here we are, talking, listening, and figuring things out as we go. And yes, young people are also trying to understand their parents, just as much as parents are trying to understand them. So when do you mold? When do you meddle? And when are you accidentally doing both? Join the conversation. We'll laugh a little while learning together. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
Hi guys, welcome to Moulding or Meddling with Trish, where African parenting styles meets today's generation. Because what used to work back then, clearly it's not always working with this generation. So onto this topic of today, we are talking about parenting scoreboard. My question to you is, if your kid was to rate you, what grade would you get? And you as a child, if your parent was to rate you, what grade will you get? So if you have not subscribed or liked this video, kindly by now, hiyo topic inafaa kuwa inakupatia fire. So when we start every new year, tunazanga na new resolutions. So what if we change it today? What if we do this scorecard as a new resolution for parenting in 2026? So in this scorecard, it's a 3-part scorecard where the child rates the parent rates the child, and where the parent rates themselves in the parenting skills. So as we start this conversation, the most important thing to understand is the purpose of this scorecard is not to shift blame. One thing, we are not shifting blame. We are just opening up a conversation between parents and children to their parents, because there's a bit of misunderstanding because of the age gaps or the different generational gaps that are raising us, and how our parents were raised by their parents' parents. Like, it's something that has been pushed to here, and right now most of us parents are struggling to keep up with these changes. The scorecard is just there to help you understand yourself as a parent, for your child to understand you as a parent, and for you as a parent kujiuliza, am I really doing it the right way? Ama ni wapi there is a miscommunication with my child, because I'm trying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, na hakuna kitu ina work. So that is the purpose of this scorecard. So stay tuned. We are going to have that scorecard at the end of this video, and kindly comment. Mkishafanya hiyo scorecard with your kids, kindly comment and let me know how have you been graded, and how have you graded yourself, and more so, how have you graded your children. Yes, so the first thing I wanted us to understand is the parenting scorecard that took place in the 70s, 80s and 90s. So right now there's a big difference, and that's where this scorecard is coming in, because the way us, our parents and our grandparents were raised is quite different from how these children of these generations are being raised. For example, the children of the 70s, 80s and 90s, they were seen. Like you could not hear them. What you say, what you thought, what you wanted, yani haikuwa na maana yoyote. It carried no value, it carried no power, it carried no essence. Questioning your parents seemed disrespectful. Ungeuliza mzazi wako ati kwa nini? Kwa nini unaniita? Kwa nini unaniambia hivyo? Kwa nini unafanya hivyo? Mimi sielewi kenye unaniambia. Like you had to figure it out on your own, whether you understood, whether you didn't understand, because the minute you asked a question, ile coffee ingekufuata my friend, you will be seen so disrespectful. And then silence. Ukiongeleshwa, you are supposed to be silent. You didn't argue, you didn't question. That meant that you are the most obedient child. Yani mzazi akikuongelesha ama akikukelelesha, hakuna time ya kujitetea, yani unyamaza. Ukiambiwa kitu fanya hivi, hakuna kusema mom but nilikuwa nataka, unasema yes mom, yes mom, yes dad, yes daddy, yes baba, yes mommy. It was a yes situation. Your silence mattered. You didn't have to communicate anything else. Kazi yako tu ilikuwa tu kusikia na kutenda, kuambiwa na kutenda. And then fear was display. Ukionekana unaogopa mzazi wako, yani we used to say the fear of the Lord, like the Lord God, yani ulikuwa unaekwa uoga. The same way you used to fear God is the same way you used to fear your parent. Either way, your parent was like the second God, because yeye ndo anasema. So you used to fear your parent, and that showed respect. Ungeogopa mzazi wako, like we siwezi fanya hivi, madhe atanimaliza. Yani that fear would make you not go beyond a certain step or a certain situation. And then mapenzi. Our parents, their parents and their parents, tuseme tu like 3 generations before us, it was really hard kusikia mzazi akikwambia I love you. Like love was not a word that was available. It was not a word. Like hakuna venye I can ask my parents, were you ever told I love you? Watasema hata hiyo jina haiko inasemekana kwa nyumba. Like love was not a word that was used. Wazungu na colonization ilileta, and then African culture did not take it up until later. Saizi in the 90s, the 2000s, the love word and the love language has really popped up. Kuongeza the scorecard ilikuwa wewe kama mzazi ufike high school. Umemake it. Sasa from high school kuna wale walienda university. Hao ndo walikuwa wamemake it in life. Then from university kuna wale walikuwa wanafanywa sasa harambee. Ya kufanya nini? Ya kupanda ndege. Ati ameenda majuu kusoma. Huyo mzazi ameweza. That parent has made it. Yani wewe unaenda university. Yeah? It was something so big. Yani ungepewa mpaka jina chief. Yani ungepewa cheo. Committee zote wewe ndio cheo, kwa sababu mtoto wako ako wapi? Ameenda majuu. Now let us come to the parenting scorecard of this generation. Number 1, what you need to understand is that hawa wazazi, because of the lifestyle they were raised in, they didn't question, they didn't ask anything. Punishment was the day-to-day thing. Hawa wazazi wamelelewa kuvumilia, walilelewa kukua hardcore, walilelewa kukua resilient. So most of our parents were hardworking. They will do any menial jobs to be able to survive and to put food on the table. So that is the parent that has raised you. That is the blueprint that they took from their parents, from their grandparents, and it was passed on to every generation up to the 90s parent. So these 90s parents have given birth to these 2000s and the current generation that we have. So let me speak about this generation. Parenting scorecard ya hawa watoto is very different. Wacha tuongea about characteristics za hawa watoto. So kwao tuseme for example education, it is a necessity. Si kitu unaweza jirate nayo kama mzazi, ati nakusomesha, nakulisha, nimekupeleka shule, that child will tell you, mami, daddy, mimi ndo nilikwambia unizae? Hapana, si wewe ndo umeleta kwa hii dunia? So ulileta kwa hii dunia ni kule nini? Watoto wengine wanasoma, kwa nini mimi sisomi? Like, this child will question you, and these questions they are asking you is not intentional for them to be rude, but the way their mind is, they need understanding. They need to be explained to why are you not able to do this. So wewe as a mzazi ukijipiga kifua kusema I have made it in life, nimekufikisha mpaka high school, atakuuliza na campus, una expect nani atanisomesha campus? Kama haunisomeshi, unaambia nikatafute mbaba zuko atanilipia school fees, and then you're like, hey, okay, this child is being rude. But in real sense, si mtoto kukua rude. These children are aware. They are aware of their rights. They are aware of their boundaries. They are aware of what they need. They know emotionally, this is what my parent should give me. These are my rights. This is what a parent should do for me. This is exactly where the boundary line is for my parent to go between me and them raising me. So imagine this parent who was raised na kutuuliza maswali is raising a child mwenye anamuuliza maswali, kwake anaona this child is a brat, this child is spoiled. Mtoto wangu nimelemewa na yeye, mimi sijui nitamjiboje, ananijibishanga venye anataka. But in real sense, that child is not rude. That child is just trying to tell you, mami, we need to have conversations because mimi, I don't understand. Huyu si ule mtoto utamwambia because I said so. And also, they don't respond to fear very well. So this generation, you have to find a way to converse to them. When you are being raised, fear was meant obedience. But for them, fear is intimidation. Unamu-intimidate as a parent. And these children end up shutting down. They are not able to converse back with you. They are not able to explain to you what they are feeling. So what are the end results of such a child? They never have conversations with you. Huyu mtoto ata-retreat. Ku-retreat na maanisha utakuwa unamshautia, anakuangalia tu. Considering wewe venye umelelea mtoto akikuangalia hivi ni disrespect. Mtoto anakuangalia hivi anashindwa, sasa why are you shouting? Like, you can just talk. Why do you look like a crazy person? Kwa akili yake haielewi why you are shouting. So what they do? They retreat because they feel this parent is not understanding me. Sasa ananishautia kwa nini? Si anaweza niongelesha tu vizuri. Kwa nini unanishautia mami? And you know, it's an age where a child of 5-year-old is clearly telling you, mami, kwa nini unanishautia? Si uniambie tu na nitafanya. Si uniambie tu nitasikia, si lazima unishautie. Yetu wewe, mama yako angekuita 3 times. 3 times my friend. Ile vita ungepata. Kushautiwa, kurushiwa masufuria na mwiko, any weapon next to your mother. No, anything next to your parent was a weapon. Iwe ni kisu, iwe ni slipa, iwe ni sufuria imejaa stew ya chakula, yani iwe ni kuni iko na moto, it used to be a weapon, and a parent will not care utaumia aje. So you can imagine, wewe unaulizwa, wewe mwenye umelelewa na hiyo maisha, mami, kwa nini unanishautia? Si unaweza niongelesha vizuri, si lazima unishautie. Like, there's so much differences and miscommunication that is taking place between the then generation and the current generation. This current generation, they value connection. Oh, they value connection. Ujue sisi kwetu connection na mzazi ilikuwa uongo. By the way, mzazi wako hakuwa na time ya kuconverse, kuuliza how was your day, how was your morning, how did you dream, what was the highlight of your week. Those were not conversations that we used to have with our parents. But with this generation, you have to keep a scorecard. Yani, you have to keep up with their emotions in school. Nani alikusumbua leo? Nani anakustress? How is your relationship with the teacher? How is your friend, by the way? Sijamsikia for some time. Like, that is a relationship you need to have with a child. They treasure connections with you. And then another thing, they are asking why. That question, why? Kwa nini mami? Like, you see, a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old, when they have gone out to play and you're trying to call them to come back home, you'll tell them, hey, Jaden, come nyumbani. Do you know what they'll ask you? Why? Or like, I am your parent. Why are you asking? Because I said so. and then they'll ask you again, why? Yani unasia kama utabust, kwa sababu you need to explain to them why are you calling them back home. And you see, for us, hatukuwa tunaweza time, hatukuwa tunaweza kuexplainia mtoto wako, ama your parent did not have to explain to you. We were raised in a generation where your parent did not have to explain to you, why am I calling you? It was, I call you, you come, and I don't call you more than once. So wherever you are, you better respond, yes, nakuja, wacha nikuje. You don't ask, ati nini? When niambie nakusikia. Like, that's the generation we are raising right now. They don't have to come. You call them from the bedroom, they say, yes, nakusikia mom. And then now you're supposed to respond what you want them to do when you're in the sitting room and in the bedroom. Considering wewe ulikuwa unasikia umeitwa, mambi you, mami, ati unasema nini? Daddy, ati umesema ni yes daddy nimekuja. Unataka nifanye nini? Like, obedience was key for them. You have to find a way to relate with them. Wakikitika wakiwa huko, si ati ni disrespectful. Although for us the way we were raised inaoneshana ni disrespect. But for them it's just a culture for them. It's a normal thing for them. Na najua mta-argue na mimi, for them you the sign of respect. Juu atakwambia, si nimerespond mami, sijanyamaza, nimesikia umeniita na nimeitika. Okay? And then this generation is aware of the emotions and mental health. They know where to put boundaries. And we are going to have a conversation, because this is very important when you are hiring this current generation. I'm telling you guys what wanakapitia. Hii generation si generation unaipea stress. Atu unamwambia si operate na simu. Unaona sisi the way we work, we are told there is phone time and there is work time. Hii generation ako kwa simu throughout na anafanya kazi yake. Aingie tu kwa very toxic working environment. Huyo mtoto hata ingia kazi the next day. And you think they'll put up an email or send you an email to tell you I am not coming to work. My friend, ataamka anasema singio kazi. Na hiyo kazi imeisha na hata shughulika nayo tena. Wewe ndio uko na follow up. Hello? Sasa kwa nini ukuji kazi? Atakwambia tu my friend, you are too toxic for me. Mimi sipendi mtu ananiambia kwanza niingie mapema. I cannot work in that environment. Mimi siwezi work na boss ananishautia. Mimi na feel, yani they will always have a reason. They are woke in their emotional and mental health. So this is why I created a scorecard. Yes, a scorecard where it is important for us as parents of the 70s, 80s, 90s to understand the kind of generation we have raised and the kind of generation our children are raising, because now we were raised by the 80s and 70s generation, and how they raised us is the same blueprint we are trying to use to raise the current generation that we have. Why is the scorecard important? Number one, success in the 70s and 80s was rated as obedience. But in today's generation, success, for you to be seen as a successful parent raising the right generation, it is measured by trust, communication, and how safe your child feels with you. Kitambo, it doesn't matter the kind of war you will face. In fact, that war meant you are safe. Kama unachapwa, it means that you are in a safe environment. Because that is how love was measured. Na si kuchapwa tu na mama yako na baba yako. Unaitiwa uka, unaitiwa shosho, utaitiwa your uncles and your aunties. It will be a whole story and whole conversation of, wacha nikwambie venye Maina alinifanya. And makosa tu ikuje tu. Ushikilie tu. Unaona, self defense. Naturally everybody has self defense mechanism. Madhe akikuchapa tu, makosa tu, ushikilie hiyo kiboko hivi. And then ukuwa na a dramatic parent. Woi mama yoyo. That mother will scream. That mother will ongeza chumvi hivi. Unataka kuniua, unataka kunichapa, unajipimanisha na mimi. Hello, baba nani, baba Maina. Kijana wako anataka kunimaliza. And yet the only thing you did was you just held the kiboko because the pain was too much, you couldn't bear it anymore. And it is a natural response, kuchapwa. But do you think your parents cared? wewe utaitiwa baba yako aite my uncles wake, uitiwe a holy chief, uitiwe the whole community, ikuwe meeting kwa sababu Maina amekuwa disrespectful kwa mama yake. And guess what? The whole community will end up knowing you tried to beat your mother. So every ukitoka nje, hata ukiargue na mtu anakuambia, unadhani mimi ni mama yako unaweza chapa? Like it becomes a norm, yani utaibishwa mbele ya watu. And then you become now the comparing blueprint for other children. Wacha nikwambie, hauta behave kama Maina. Maina alitaka kuchapa mama yake, mimi hautanichapa. Yani well, it was a vicious cycle. So with this generation, success iko measured na trust. You have to communicate with your child and you have to give them a safe space to communicate with you. And then kitambo, as children, we used to adapt to what the parents want when it comes to education, when it comes to what they want of your life to be. But right now sisi kama wazazi tunakuja kuadapt with the environment and the children and the season. Tuko season ya TikTok, tuko season ya Instagram, tuko season ya Facebook, and it's growing and it's becoming more and more. And this is where the parents now, because can you imagine wewe ukiambia mzazi wako tutengeneze tutengeneze TikTok, then do you think ungeulizwa wewe na kiogoki, yani they will ask you questions, uko like mami sina ubaya, yani sina ubaya, because the insults that they will hurl at you. And then some of these insults, imagine azikwa zinatumaliza. Right now, every insult your child, you see, mtoto amepatwa na stress, my mother is abusive, umeitwa meeting shule, sijui kai. Anyway, tulikuwa insultiwa by the way. Right now you cannot insult your child. And then these insults hata zikwa zinatu, yes, they affected us, but in a way zilitufanya tukue a bit strong. So you can imagine with this generation, like hauwezi, you as a parent have to adapt to what they want. Wewe ndio una adapt na eating habits zao, sleeping habits zao, the seasons, the social media. Like mtu anakuambia mimi sina simu, wewe hata ukumbuki your first phone ulipata sijui ukiwa sijui 24, 23, mtu ako 6 years old na anakuitisha simu. Like hawezi survive. That's the generation we are raising, generation ya cocomelon. Yani they grow up with a phone. Wewe ukikumbuka uli grow up na kuslide kwa matope, kutengeneza swing na kakamba, alafu unaweka kitambaa hapo ndio uweze kupata swing ya hiyo kama hicho kufinya kwa haga. I'm like, well, seasons have really changed. So the scorecard, the purpose of it is mostly to ask you as a parent, do you listen? Or are you a parent who instructs and listens later? Or you literally, you see kazi yako, you are not a parent who wants to listen. The other thing is, do your children fear or trust you? That's what the work of the scorecard is going to do. It's going to gauge you as a parent. Do your children fear you or do your children trust you? And to ask the bigger question, you as a parent, are you molding your child or you are meddling in their lives? You are doing both. Umesema you are going to merge. You will mold, you will meddle. Mpaka mtoto akae. Tuko tunaambia you will stay straight like a train. A train does not look behind. That is the meme sisi tulikuwa tumelelewa nayo. You will stay straight like a train. So, see, as a parent, you need to understand that we are raising our children with a failed, or not a failed. We are raising our children with an expired software. So you need, or rather we need, to update ourselves. The times have changed, the seasons have changed, the what used to work is not working. Part of it is working, but the bigger part, we are really struggling to adapt, and we are adapting in a way that we need to figure out. In this adaptation, are we really molding our children to be a better version, or are we meddling in their lives because we just want to keep up with the social status and the social standards of how to raise our children? And also, are you raising your children to the way you want you to be or how you were raised? Or are you raising your children to be the person they are supposed to be? Yes, how you were raised worked, the blueprint that was used worked, But pia ukiangalia your life and where you are right now, and some of us, we share the same characters. Number one, tuliraiziwa in a way that expressing yourself was not a thing. So how do you as a parent expect to put up a platform for your child to express themselves openly? So you see, it becomes hard. So as much as it worked with this generation, what worked then will not work right now. Number two, adults, we were raised to fear authority, and right now children cannot work with fear. That's why at a Gen Z, we went to the streets because of the finance bill, because we are asking why. And nobody was there to explain to us why. Why is this money being spent this way? Why can this be money used in this way? Like this generation, you have to explain. Always raise this generation with I said so. My parents, it won't work. People, politicians, leaders, it will not work. You will raise children that are going to rebel. They are going to be rebellious, and that's why unaona Gen Zs wanaenda kwa streets. Like ukimwambia kitu naye haielewi, like you need to make sense to them. And as much as you are the parent, ndio maana nilisema hapa, we as parents are adapting. We are adapting to this generation. So you have to calm down. Pale ulikuwa umeambiwa, it is I who is saying, I am the parent, I am the adult, it won't work here. So you as a parent need to come down from the high horse, level yourself with your 13-year-old, with a 20-year-old at work, with a 25-year-old at work, with a 5-year-old, so that you too can have a conversation. Ndio aeze kukuelewa wewe. Parents that are raised where fear was the in thing need to change. You need to adapt. That is a software that is outdated. In with the new software where we are conversing as parents. So instead of seeing your child as rebellious because anauliza questions, why don't we as parents change tuseme, by the way, mtoto wangu anauliza maswali, it means anataka, cause for a child to ask why, it means ni conversation anataka. And this is a generation of conversing. By the way, you have to converse. So the why question, why don't we stop seeing it as a rebellion, but we start seeing it as, by the way, mtoto wangu anataka kuniongelesha. And then you have to ask, and I know, guy, it is tiring. Oi, wacha tu tuongee ukweli. It is tiring. But is it important? Yes. 100% importante. Kila mzazi musikie hivyo. It is very important to answer the why questions, because that why questions open up a place where you and your child can converse. You don't have to shout. These are honest conversations that we need to have in our homes. Conversations where are going to build how you relate with your own child. Because sometimes tumeacha watoto wetu walelewe na social media, walelewe na the changing environment that we are in, but sisi kama wazazi, we are not willing to change. So let me go to the scorecard. So this scorecard iko na some regulations. Yes guys, some regulations. So kwa hii scorecard ina rate 50 out of 50. So the score we will be given itakuwa out of 50 as a parent or as a child that you will give your parent. Now number 1, this is not to shift blame as I said, but it's to open up conversation. Hapa hakuna kujam. By the way, hakuna kukua defensive, hakuna kujam. So wewe kama mzazi, whatever rate you are given as a parent, don't feel guilty like you're not doing the right thing if the scorecard is a bit low, because you are not failing. That's one thing you need to understand. You are not failing. It's just that you need to change or to adapt to the kind of child you have and the kind of child you are raising and the kind of environment, especially the children of nowadays. The environment they are in is because of the social media. Many things have to change. So as a parent, whatever rate you are given, kaa chini, ujiulize maswali. You need to understand why this child has given you such a rate card. And the good thing is you can ask. Point number 2, create an environment. An environment that is going to be healthy for such a conversation. Look for an environment that is comfortable, number 1. So, when's the last time ulipeleka your children for an ice cream date? Not because you want an ice cream, but because you want to have a conversation. a conversation needs to come out of it. When's the last time you went for a walk with your child? When's the last time you took your child even for a tea date? Coffee, no, okay, if it's coffee, but hata kachai tu, mpeleke tu akunywe kachai, mpeleke lunch, hata dinner. Like, don't eat at home, just go out and make it a fun thing. Number 3, let them know that whatever they say, kwanza this part, let your children know that they're in a safe space, that whatever they say will not be used against them. We have all heard of the we listen but we don't judge challenge. So here we are using we listen and we don't prosecute. Don't use it against your child, because if you do, nakwambia huyo mtoto anakuweka block, yani hata hawai open up to you again. So parents, be careful. Ini scorecard kamoto scorecard kanawasha moto kidogo, kuna mahali utachunwa because you thought you were doing the right thing. You thought mimi ni mzazi naweza, my children are doing this, but in real sense utapata watoto imefika point they gave up, walinua mkono wakasema mami yako hivi, because our children really, this generation wana adapt. They know your buttons, they know when to make you happy, they know when to annoy you, they know when to let you go. So wamekulearn so fast to a point that by the time unamaliza na hii scorecard utakuwa like, guy, I thought we were doing well, kumbe you are not even doing anything my bad. Bado hakuna kitu unafanya. So don't prosecute that child. Kile anakwambia out of honesty. Ni kama mko therapy, so you are the therapist. So as a therapist, you don't use anything your patient says against them. In fact, you mold them. Use that to mold them. And don't meddle. In what way? Don't be defensive. Usikuwe defensive as a parent. Accept what you have been told you do. It affects them in this way. So what you do is you follow up with the questions like, I did that. How did it make you feel? Give me more examples of when I have done that. How would you have wanted me to react? Make it engaging. Don't be defensive. But unajua hata wewe ulinipush. Mama, daddy, calm down. Tumesema tuna level up na watu, si kupandisha moto, ni kushukisha moto. Can you be the carbon dioxide of this conversation and lower the fire? Don't raise the fire. Don't be the oxygen. Lower. Ushuke, uko level moja na mtoto wako. Hapa, as much as you are a parent, your ears ziko hapa. Level to your children. Let your understanding level to your child so that you know what you need to improve and what you need to do better. And then explain now why you reacted that way, why you react like that as a parent, why the kiboko is the only, because atakwambia mami si lazima unichape by the way. Sometimes you just talk and I will hear. Like, daddy, unajua by the last time ulinichapa, uliniumiza, I was limping but I was pretending. Plus ujue wewe ulichapa mpaka ukavunjwa miguu, and it was not a problem by the way. That was a 10 out of 10 that your parent did a good job. But in this generation, that is trauma. You will traumatize. Anytime you inflict pain beyond the normal pain, you are traumatizing your child, and in a way that it will end up affecting the relationship you have with them. So hapa hakuna kukua defensive. You accept ulikosea, and more so kama kuna mali mtoto anakuambia daddy ulinikosea, mami I felt like you went beyond. Parents, say sorry, and we are going to have a whole conversation about apologizing. Do you apologize to your children? Mtoko akikuambia, dad, by the way hapa I felt like you went beyond. Apologize, because we want to raise children that their emotions are validated. You have to validate them. You have to let them know that ukikosa, I am sorry. Then we move on, because they will hold on. They hold on to anger. They hold on to the pain. They hold on to the suffering. That's why unaona mental issues among our children iko so high, because when is the last time you told them, mimi kama mzazi nimekukosea, nasema pole? When did you fight back for your children? Mzazi mwingine amekosea mtoto wako, kama mtoto wako amekosea na mtu mwingine, when did you go and tell that child, by the way, apologize to my son ama to my daughter, and you apologize? Like, Ensure that the environment is conducive, because an apology goes a long way. An apology ensures that we don't have scars and traumas. Ziki happen to hivi tu, by the way, sema sorry. It is really an important word for this generation. And then kuwa vulnerable. By the way, tumelelewa in a sense that mzazi akisema amesema. You don't question, you don't ask, you don't even remind them where you are from. But with this generation, you have to explain to them. Mimi as a parent, I was raised this and this and this way. And this is how my parents raised me. Mimi sijalelewa na connection, sijalelewa na public display of affection to a child. So mamimi, I don't know how to do it. But you can teach me. Or Mike, show me how to do PDA yenye wewe utakuwa comfortable. As a parent, you also need to learn. Pale tuko saizi, we are learning. You have to learn how to raise your children in an affectionate way, because we're in a generation where affection really matters. So let them know this is how you were raised, this is how discipline was for you, this is why you use such kind of forces, and then your children will explain to tell you, Daddy, you don't have to, or Mommy, you don't have to. I will learn to listen. And then have a safe word. When you guys are conversing and you feel like things are not going the right way, have a safe word. And in that safe word, it will help you know where to put the brakes. It will help you to know that unapotea njia. Like, make a safe word to explain yourself if you're going the wrong direction when you are conversing or when you're having a relationship. Ama, Mommy, you don't have to beat me. I will listen, I will change. And the consequences of not doing what you have been told. I hope with that, to may get to understand a bit about parenting skills, how our children are, how our generations, the older generations were raised, what was passed on, the traumas it caused, the beauty of it, because tuongee tu kweli, we have stories to give. We have stories to give about how we were raised and how we became who we are right now. But at the same time, we need to mold it in a way that, or we need to package it in a way that it molds the children of this generation instead of meddling in their lives. So I am putting up a scorecard. Kindly make sure you do it with your children. Make sure you do it with even your older. Wewe kama mzazi, go back to your parents. Sometimes ni conversation unafaa explain, by the way, Mommy, do you know when you did this, it even affects how I have raised my own children. And then you heal, by the way, because it helps. It's a conversation of healing, of putting up conversations out there. That is what molding or meddling is, to put conversations African settings have never done. We have tried to ignore that they are not supposed to be talked to, but the seasons are changing and traumas will be passed on if we don't speak about them. So kindly share your scorecard. Hata mimi nataka kujua, how have you been rated by your child? And as a child, how has your parent rated you? And you as a parent, umejirate aje? Guys, this scorecard is not to meddle in a relationship with your children, but is to open up a conversation and to make a safe environment of how we are going to raise our children going forward, with an understanding of who we are, how we were raised, the generation we are raising, and for them also to understand who we are. So it is a nipe nikupe situation. Okay guys, with that I say thank you. We have so much to converse this 2026, so kindly like, subscribe and share. Na tupatane on the next episode of Moulding, or you got it right, Meddling. Bye guys.